Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
That breaking news from Detroit's east side, where a 2-year-old is in the hospital after a dog ran into her home and attacked her. And that tops our news this Monday afternoon. That child was attacked earlier this afternoon on the 10,000 block of Weyburn, which is near Whittier Avenue and I-94. Let's bring in Jason Colthorpe. He is live from the scene. Jason, this is just a horrific story.
I mean, it's an understatement, Karen. Just a freakishly heartbreaking accident here today, and an attack on a little girl. It happened at this house behind me that you see here on the corner. And out front, you can clearly see a child stroller there. And this was a 2-year-old girl who was inside her own home when this happened. She was attacked. Her father then shot and killed the dog. Take a look at some video we have from earlier when this was a much more active scene. This happened a little bit before 11 o'clock. This morning. Police say this was a stray dog, and I talked to some neighbors out here who had seen this dog. There's a little discrepancy about what the breed was, but they said they'd seen it. It hadn't been aggressive to them, but then suddenly today it attacked when someone opened the door. Here's what police had to say about how it happened.
One of the residents opened up the front door, and a huge pit bull just ran in and began charging at a female 2-year-old. And began attacking that female baby. Like any father, you know, he was looking at to protect his child, period.
Yeah, and as we say, several shots fired. The dog was killed. The little girl was actually grazed in her arm. She was rushed to the hospital where she is critical, and at last check was undergoing surgery. She has severe bite marks to her head as well. We're going to talk more about that at 5, and also talk more about what kind of dog this was. There was, like we said, there were some earlier reports it was a different breed. We'll talk about that when we see you at 5 o'clock. Karen?
Thank you very much, Jason. We'll be checking back with you. Also breaking, an investigation is underway after a crash involving a Detroit police car. This video from the scene near I-94 in Van Dyke on the city's east side. Police say officers tried to stop a car that was wanted in a weekend shooting, but the driver kept going. They say the suspect then tried to go south on Van Dyke when that car hit the officer in another car. We're told the officers are okay. Police are looking for the suspect driving a cream-colored Chrysler 300C. Also on the city's east side, Sky 4 over the scene of a house fire. This is in the area of Spring Garden and Peoria Avenue. We're told that home is vacant. Fire officials say it appears to be suspicious, but an investigation is ongoing. Time now for a look at our coronavirus headlines, and we did just receive the latest COVID-19 numbers from the state. Now, this is a 2-day total of cases and deaths. The state of Michigan confirms 3,881 new cases of COVID-19 in the past 2 days. 29 more people died of coronavirus here in Michigan. Health officials are reporting 30 new outbreaks in Michigan schools. A few of the outbreaks are in southeastern Michigan, including at Lapeer High School, where 6 cases were reported. Now, on the national front, the United States has surpassed 8,669,000 confirmed cases. More than 225,000 people have died from the virus, and those numbers are from the Johns Hopkins University database. Meantime, Michigan's Department of Health and Human Services provided an update today on the status of the pandemic in our state. Let's bring in Kim Gill. She is in the newsroom with some of what the experts are saying about COVID-19 here in Michigan. Kim?
Hi, Karen. Good afternoon. Yeah, the department, they conducted a roundtable discussion to examine strategies for dealing with the pandemic in the months ahead. But all the discussions began with the serious matter of where the state stands today in the recent rise in cases. The numbers we talked about earlier in the show, you mentioned both confirmed cases and deaths have risen dramatically in the past week. While Detroit had the greatest number of cases back in the spring, current reports show cases are rising in every region in the state. While we wait for vaccines to be developed and approved, experts say we can slow the spread with actions nearly everyone can take part in.
We've also learned a lot that low-tech and accessible interventions can work to slow this. Things like required masking and reducing group sizes so that when an infection is introduced into a group, it does not spread as readily and to as many other parts of the community. So using these tools, especially as we go into the winter months, is going to best position us to slow the spread.
And one set of numbers reflect how the virus can spread quickly and widely. It found 80% of the cases can be traced to just 10 to 20% of infected individuals. We'll have more on that and what the COVID-19 experts roundtable discussion talked about coming up on Local 4 News at 5. Until then, Karen, we'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Kim. We
Sure.
appreciate it. Now, the Trump administration is facing another possible COVID-19 outbreak. At least 5 people in Vice President Mike Pence's inner circle, including his chief of staff, Mark Short, have tested positive in recent days. Now, the White House says Pence and his wife tested negative this morning. The vice president, who is known to rarely wear a mask, is still planning to make campaign appearances every day until Election Day. His schedule today includes campaigning. Pence claims that federal rules on essential workers allow him to continue to campaign and not quarantine himself, even though he was exposed to the virus. Health experts are concerned. Meantime, he initially planned to attend tonight's Senate vote to confirm federal appeals judge Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court. However, Barrett has the votes to be confirmed without Pence, breaking a tie. And according to Politico, the VP is not planning to be at the Senate tonight unless his vote is needed. It's a historic vote with the outcome already determined, but Senate Democrats continue to protest Judge Amy Coney Barrett's Supreme Court nomination. They pulled an all-nighter ahead of the final vote to confirm Barrett to the Supreme Court. As you can see, they continue holding the Senate floor. Now they're using their floor speeches to try to build awareness and rally against the decision by Republicans to move to fill that vacancy just days before the election. Still, Barrett's confirmation is on track to happen tonight because every Republican senator except Susan Collins is expected to vote to confirm her.
Judge Amy Coney Barrett, hours away from becoming Justice Amy Coney Barrett.
A quorum is present.
Senators embroiled in 30 hours of debate over Barrett's nomination to the Supreme Court. The state now set for a vote tonight. Republicans rushing the confirmation through to seat Barrett before Election Day, and she will give the high court a solid conservative majority.
This is something to really be proud of and to feel good about. We've made an important contribution to the future of this country.
Only one Republican, Susan Collins of Maine, is expected to vote against Barrett, and not one Democrat is expected to support her. They're furious about the fast-track process they were powerless to stop.
And it will be an inerasable stain on this Republican majority forevermore.
Barrett could be sworn late as tonight, ready to not only rule on a case that could decide the future of Obamacare, but also legal challenges involving the election itself.
The president could swear in the newest justice tonight after returning from campaign stops in Pennsylvania. Meantime, Joe Biden is holding a campaign event near his home in Delaware. And with 8 days to go, the race for the White House and the fight for Michigan is heating up. Governor Gretchen Whitmer is spending this last week before the election campaigning for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. She stopped in Wyoming for a bus tour. The governor will make several stops like this in the next few days, including another one today in Kalamazoo. Meantime, Donald Trump Jr. will campaign today in Washington Township. He is scheduled to speak at 6 p.m. at the Michigan Stars Sports Center. Stocks fell sharply today as coronavirus infections jumped and negotiations for a stimulus package stalled once again. Let's take a look at the numbers live. Those closing numbers down 650 points. We're talking about the Dow there. Now, the reason for the red, investors are concerned about the rise in U.S. virus cases, new shutdowns in Europe, and the stalemate in Washington. Closer to home, new developments in a story we first broke last week. It is a big day for the Detroit Public Schools Community District as it regains control of its finances. Let's send it out to Paula Tutman for a closer look at the significance of this move.
As of 1:42 this afternoon, Detroit Public Schools Community District gained its independence from the state. When we broke this story last week, I gave the analogy it's akin to your parents finally leaving your house so you can make your own rules. And while this does usher in a new era, the parents have essentially moved down the street to keep an eye on things.
Congratulations to the DPSCD.
And with that, the signal has been sent. The Detroit Public Schools Community District, formerly Detroit Public Schools, is considered by the state of Michigan to be financially stable for the first time in 13 years.
My last point is really to Detroiters who for a long time deserved local control, deserved a regular, normal school district. And today's announcement is an announcement about returning this district back to where it was before it was improperly in an unjust way taken over by the state.
The crawl back from what is essentially bankruptcy in terms of finances, processes, and even in weeding out corruption that ultimately stole from the children who needed resources the most is most obvious in that the district has an open to do good, honest business sign at the door.
The district had gotten so bad that we would take almost 4 months to pay people. So we cleaned that up. We brought that time down under 45 days. And so we're getting a lot more bidding from our small businesses in the community.
In terms of what this means for students at the ground level, no one wants to throw good money after bad. But as the district started turning around, the business community wanted to invest. And in the starkest, easiest way to explain how the backroom wranglings make the biggest difference at the front door of learning, when COVID struck, unlike much of the nation, this district had the means to pivot.
In March, when the pandemic hit and we had to close schools, the district actually had a very healthy fund balance as well as a rainy day fund. And because we had spent all of this time and effort to shore up our financing, the business community had greater confidence. And so very quickly, we were able to purchase 53,000 tablets with internet for all of our students. We're able to keep that commitment through the school year. We've passed all of those out. And we also were able to go out and get all the PPE we needed in preparation for schools opening.
Yeah, that's the easiest way to understand what this is and why it's so important on the ground level. But stay with me for a moment, because it ain't over yet. This waiver is only good until December of 2021. Basically, by law, for the next 10 years, this exercise has to be repeated of regaining independence. So basically, while the state is out of the district, it's still hanging out in the periphery of the neighborhood to keep their eye on things. Karen?
Very good analogy for everybody to understand. We appreciate it. Thank you, Paula. Time now for our first look at our forecast as we approach a Monday evening. What is in store as we head outside? Hey, Ben.
Karen, good Monday afternoon, and I wish we had better news for the start of the week, but a whole lot of clouds out there and definitely on the cool side for temperatures. This is going to be one of the coolest highs that we see this week. Mid-40s. We'll probably do that again tomorrow. At least there's not much of a wind, even though it is coming out of the north right now. Storm Tracker 4 did have a little bit of moisture on it. A lot of that was elevated and it started to dry up, but just be aware that there could be a couple sprinkles around, at least in the evening hours. Better chances tomorrow, although it's still not great. We'll take a look at that coming up. There is a Hurricane Zeta. The remnants of that will be here Thursday. We'll track that for you. And a cold front Sunday. Lots to discuss when we see you again in a few minutes. Karen?
All right, we appreciate it. Thank you, Ben. Still to come, 2 years after it was legalized in Michigan, there's now a plan to allow recreational pot shops to open in Detroit. But first, the man accused of killing 3 people at a Coney Island has his day in court. What we're learning now.